Have you ever thought of becoming a hero from nothing? If so, this video might give you the power to believe in yourself. Zero to hero. A simple phrase that has a deep lifetime meaning. It's not as easy as we say it. It takes a lot of dedication, sleepless nights, and hard work to be a hero from nothing. Here's a story of a hero who went from being a two-star recruit to the NFL superstar. Yeah, we're talking about none other than Justin Jefferson, the Viking superstar. The place where Justin Jefferson first worked for years to progress into a star received at LSU and first-round draft pick of the Minnesota Vikings is also where Justin's NFL profession has begun in earnest. A vacant lot sits next to Jefferson's family home in St. Rose, Louisiana. The wide-open grassy ground became an extemporary practice field for Justin and his two older brothers, Jordan and Ricky, to play while growing up. It's where Jordan, an LSU quarterback from 2008 to 2011, made his brothers run and catch passes. Courtyard basketball featured games of 100 points and set out to be the lessons of winning and losing. Once again, this space has turned into a training ground. While the NFL team training facilities remained closed indefinitely during the COVID pandemic, players were getting ready for the 2020 season. Most days for Justin included cardio and weightlifting. There were also footwork drills and route running during exercise with Ricky, who was attempting an NFL comeback after tearing an ACL in the New Orleans Saints training camp the past 2 years. The Vikings bartered wide receiver Stefon Diggs to the Buffalo Bills in March for 4 picks. Including the first rounder they used to take, Justin, at number 22 in the month of the NFL draft. Minnesota was counting on Justin 20 to replace Diggs. His opportunity to make an immediate impact opposite Adam Thielen put him on a path to become the franchise's next great receiver. Back home where it all started, Justin, the only first-rounder in the past 8 drafts, which was an unranked ESPN recruit and signed with an Southeastern Conference school, was preparing for his rookie season. Justin Jefferson didn't crack the first team at Destrin High School until his junior year. In his freshman year, he was 5'7", upbeat, made of sticks. He injured his elbow during a soccer game that year, which resulted in an X-ray test, but didn't help him during the early part of high school. Even with the Jefferson name, most recruiters looked past a skinny boy that could not crack varsity. His brothers, who had played with Justin since they were kids throwing a ball around on an empty lot next door, knew Justin's talent. He was a hidden gem, an NFL superstar to which college recruiters would not give a second look. For a lot of players, their careers might end there. Who knows how many NFL superstars fell through the cracks in college recruiting? How many superstar athletes weren't super athletes when the media rated them as prospects? Justin Jefferson hit his growth rush before his junior year and made the first team. But by then, he already crossed off too many lists. Jefferson worked on just about everything with Jordan, who started his coaching career at Destrin in 2015. Long days of practice peaked with one-on-one film sessions and extra work in the empty lot once Jordan and Justin returned home. Jordan saw the potential in Justin. He just needed to poke his brother to stay on the course. This meant making sure his grades did not go down as they did in high school, which made schools cautious about extending the scholarship. Even at a young age, he could keep up and play in the yard. Jefferson had 44 receptions for 956 yards and 9 touchdowns as a senior in high school. Production was no longer a problem, but only one school remained in the frame. However, the 26 season did not go as planned for Les Miles as it did for Justin Jefferson. After an arguable September loss to Auburn, Miles and his staff were driven out. And it came Ed Orgeron, a D-line assistant who had only been in the program for a year. He got the head coaching role right after a 5-2 interim record and had to figure out what to do with LSU's final available scholarship. On the other hand, Jefferson was struggling to earn his eligibility. One of his core English classes gave him problems, and he had to spend extra time earning credit for the class. He also missed National Signing Day as an academically incompetent candidate. He had to gain his eligibility before LSU got too deep into training camp, and it was down to the wire. Ed Orgeron was not as in person familiar with Jefferson as Les Miles did. Nobody was making him an offer, a scholarship to a 2-star recruit with only one other offer from Nicholls State in the Southland Conference. Nothing was stopping Orgeron from giving that scholarship to someone that was not making him wait for academic eligibility. But Orgeron extended the scholarship anyway, and Jefferson made it just in time to report to the camp 3 days late. He appeared in 2 games as a freshman, dashing one time for 4 yards, but he was catching eyes. Justin was the only tenderfoot on the travel squad, and others saw his potential for the NFL. In 2018, Jefferson led all receivers with 5 catches for 128 yards during the LSU spring game going into his sophomoric season. Jerry Sullivan, a 25-year NFL coaching expert and advisor at the time for LSU, told John and his wife, Elaine, their son should be declared for the NFL draft after his junior season. But Sullivan groups Justin in an elite category of ballers he has coached. Some players Sullivan has coached for the NFL include Larry Fitzgerald, David Boston, and Anquan Bolden, who never flickered. The NFL boneyard is full of guys that ran fast at the combine, but never played football very well. But he had great instincts. He had a great ability to adjust flexibly during the game. You did not have to draw the picture for him. You could tell him, and he could just see it. As stated by Sullivan, he has been coaching the NFL team for almost 25 years. But he has not seen anyone such talented as Justin Jefferson. He also said that he had seen many players come and go, but there was something that stood out in Jefferson. Jefferson lived up to the potential Sullivan saw in him and turned into an NFL candidate over 18 months. As a sophomoric, he had 875 yards playing outside receiver for LSU. Jefferson led his country with 111 receptions as a junior in 2019 when he transitioned into the slot. He had 18 receiving touchdowns, caught a college football playoff record, 4 touchdowns passed in the Peach Bowl, and won a national championship. He also had an 85.2% catch rate, the highest of any eligible receiver coming out of the draft. He went from an unranked, overlooked possibility to a player ready for the NFL after 3 years. According to Marucci, Jefferson is classified as an elite slaughterer based on LSU's mental processing testing. That was one of the fundamental factors for the Vikings in deciding to sign him, along with his ability to make contested catches. And if there was any question about speed, all of that was silenced when Justin ran a 4.43 second 40 at the NFL Combine. These attributes are critical for how the Vikings plan to use a 6'1", 202-pound receiver to replace Diggs. Several other things could have gone wrong to hinder Justin Jefferson's path to the NFL. If Jordan or Ricky had chosen a school other than LSU, that relationship might not have been as strong as it is now. If Les Miles had been fired after the 2015 season, Ed Orgeron might not have taken over. If Miles had been fired at the end of the 26 season, Orgeron might not have gotten a chance to prove himself as an interim coach. If somebody else would have taken over, who knows if they would have honored the Miles staff acquaintanceship with the Jeffersons. If Jefferson went to JUCO, he could have probably not have the elite draft stock that landed him in the first round. Even if he came back to Division I football, do you think LSU has had the opening for him? If LSU did not honor Les Miles' promise to Jefferson, would the zero-offer 2-star recruit have played at all? And if the JUCO long shot kind of Jefferson had the rookie training camp that Jefferson had, would an NFL team have scheduled him? Supporters surrounded Justin Jefferson for the majority of his career. His parents and siblings supported him immensely throughout his childhood. Devin Robichaux knew better than anyone to bet against Jefferson. Jerry Sullivan's anxious eye for talent picked Justin Jefferson out of the crowd. In 2018, Justin Jefferson produced the tape that caught Rick Spielman's eye in the 2020 NFL Draft. As a fully fleshed-out athlete influencing the best competition in college football, Jefferson could no longer be doubted in his skills, even less so after his vital rookie season. But before anyone knew how talented Justin Jefferson was, his support system eventually ensured that he was found out. That was a splendid journey, isn't it? Things can go around at any point in time. What do you guys think about Jefferson's success? Was Sullivan right in drafting Justin? Comment below with your thoughts. Until then,